Hi, good evening, everyone. We're back with KOP Live. Sorry for my voice. Um, a very interesting session today. We are expecting our panelists to join us. It's on a very important aspect of a childhood that we come across, where everyone wants to capture that moment when the child was born, and make sure that milestones are captured in the best way possible. So I think our guest for the day is here. I'm going to add her now.
Hey, hi. Hi, Chitra.
Hi. Hi,
Well,
Ritesh.
hi, good evening. So, everyone who's tuned in, Shilpa, Suyog, hi. We have our guest here with us, Ruchita, who owns Ruchita K. Jain Photography. She's the person who's making all the difference in through her lens. Let me put it that way. And so excited to have a talent like this on KOP Live. For the people who've tuned in for the first time, KOP Live is part of our a weekly live session where we try and bring in different professionals to come online and tell us about how did they build their brand, how are they influencing the children's space and the entire ecosystem. So really looking forward to interacting with our guest for today, Ruchita.
I
How are you
must
doing,
firstly
Ruchita?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I must congratulate you for raising a platform like this. The motive of this platform is completely unique. Is what I like the most. Bringing all the things that connect childhood together, which is a great
Yeah.
thought. And I really wish you a lot of luck. And I hope this gets you a lot of exposure in terms of building a lot of spaces for kids. That's what I got to know, that's what you're looking at doing at the larger picture.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good luck to
Yes.
you for that, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
such a lovely intro.
I must tell all the listeners who are coming in. Of course, Ruchita is part of the family, but here, the reason why I've invited Ruchita to be a part of KOP Live is because of the phenomenal work that she's doing. And for the people who've tuned in for the first time or are going to see this on IGTV a little later, let me quickly introduce who Ruchita is to all of you all. Let I mean, and this is something that the team has put together based on whatever work we've seen, whatever people had to say and all. So the three words to describe Ruchita would be cheerful, ambitious, and loving. Tiny babies and young children are her favorite kind of people, and she loves seeing the world through their eyes, a world of wonder. And she tries to catch those feelings in her photographs, curious eyes, innocent smiles, and hearts full of sunshine. Photography to Ruchita is all about art, and she designs the sets, chooses the colors, decides the costumes, picks out the props, and creates beautiful moments for you and your family. That's what she does. She photographs maternity, newborns, and babies, toddlers, and families to create fascinating art for her clients. And I see a lot of fans of yours who are already tuning in and are throwing in their hellos. Hello to
Family
everyone.
and friends.
In TP.
Yeah,
Family and friends always.
we are big fans. Yeah, yeah.
So that for all the people who've tuned in, Ruchita K. Jain Photography is a brand. She has over 10,000 followers. And some of her work, which you can see on her Instagram page, is simply fantastic. In fact, we've had the
Thank you.
privilege of I cannot actually express what we see when we see the photographs, that when they come to us, and I've personally seen how my children look after every photograph has been taken by Ruchita, and the photo shoots that they've been in. and it only goes to show the amount of work, the kind of professionalism that she brings to the foray. So with that, I'd like to officially start with KOP Live. Welcome again, Ruchita. I hope we've
Thank you.
managed to put everything what you've done, in our introduction. But we'd like to know a little more. So let me begin by saying that, Ruchita, tell us about your company, Ruchita K. Jain Photography. What is it that you exactly do, and what is the kind of photography that you've created a niche for yourself for? Tell our audience.
So, I studied. I'm going to start off with where I come from in terms of education. So, I studied BMM,
Yeah.
which exposed me to photography as one of our subjects.
Yeah.
And since then, I have been interested in converting your mood or your expressions into picture form. So, after that, I studied films and animation from Whistling Woods. And then I studied photography from Shari Academy in Mumbai. So, I started off with doing all sorts of photography, like from product to fashion to food photography to real estate. I tried everything to landscapes, and then baby was something I wasn't. There was no subject like baby photography, so I was not learned, but there was a lot of demand. Like a lot of people wanted to get their pictures of the babies clicked, and because they
Yeah.
knew me as a photographer, so they would ask me. So it obviously started with family. And then I was like, I'm not doing a good job. I was never happy with the kind of pictures I clicked in baby photography because they were not aesthetically beautiful. They were not with the sets that I wanted. They were not wearing the
Yeah.
clothes that I wanted, the textures that I wanted. So because of all of that, I was like, I need to study this. I need to know how to handle a baby. I need to know how to hold a baby. I don't know why the baby is crying. I never knew. I mean, so I had to study. So I went to California to study, and that's where I learned. I dived deep into this subject, and I learned that baby cannot be held in a certain way. Oh my God, I cannot work with a baby when the baby is crying. I cannot. I need to comfort my new moms. It's more about taking care, being more warm in my kind of photography. So what I do, coming back to your question, what I do is I I I make memories for parents. I want them to enjoy their life, but also remember what they have gone through at every stage in their life. And I think it's very important because pictures are the only way you can remember and I truly believe in that, are the only way you can get back to what you don't have at the moment. So that's what I do.
Fantastic. So, Ruchita, I know that you spoke about some of your academic, the academic journey. I wanna share this quickly with the audiences that you mentioned this, that you studied advertising and animation before finding your calling in photography.
Yes.
And you also complete a certified training course with Bella Baby and Beyond Conference with the renowned photographer Anna. And this conference was in California, as you mentioned to our audiences right now. But I think you found your calling once. People asked you to do something because you were good at something, and they thought that photography should be done, and you kept taking that step forward and finding your niche in this space. And for all the people who've tuned in right now, what I want to share is that guys, photography has been made so simplified because everyone has a camera in their phones today, and everyone feels that they're taking the world's best picture. But I can tell you that it takes a lot of effort and a lot of learning to find how to convert it into an art. So there'll be a photograph, okay, which you are taking, and there's an art which Ruchita does. So that's the marked difference, and that takes equal amount of studying, learning, and constantly working on your art. So kudos to
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us, Ruchita, what's on an average in a month, how many photo shoots would you be doing? We understand that pandemic, because of COVID, things have shortened in, but what are the number of photo shoots that you can do? Do you do more than one photo shoots in a day? And what's the prep like? What's that entire process like?
So I am not doing as many I would want to at this point, and that is because I'm going to start with a negative note because I just want to be honest at this point in my life. That is
Yeah.
because I studied Bella Baby and Beyond, as in the conference which I did in California was in 2017 in
Yeah.
May. So this time around, and I had 6 months to then understand baby, experiment, take up more work. So I wouldn't even charge that much at that point because I was learning as how everybody starts. And then later in 2018, I got pregnant, and which was in March, and with having a new skill, like learning a new skill of newborn photography at the same time being pregnant wasn't easy because I wanted to create so many images, but I couldn't because I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So and plus I wasn't in like I wasn't in my hometown for like 4 months, so I couldn't work. So that restricted my promotions, my marketing, my letting people know that I can uh, create this for you. So coming back to your question, I do around like say 3 shoots in a week. So that will be
Okay.
around 10 to 12 shoots in a month.
Yeah.
Um, I do one shoot in a day. I don't take up 2 shoots in a day. That is because I like working with a fresh mind, and having your own child, I like to give time to my family as well. So
Absolutely.
that's the answer to this one.
So that means for all the listeners and who are going to go on to her page later, and all the people who anyways follow Ruchita, I can tell you that I personally experienced the amount of hard work that goes behind planning as to what the shoot would look like, the props, the lighting. It has to be at the right time, and especially when you're handling children, or if it's a maternity shoot, it's a different thing altogether, going on location and things like that. So there's a lot of prep that goes. Ruchit, I think it only shows that while you would like to do a lot more, you're also constantly focusing on quality, which obviously comes out in the photographs that are there. Is there, looking at the kind of portfolio you've already done, is there something that you want to tell the parents out there that what's the process like that anyone who's listening and who wants to do a baby shoot at some point of time for their child at whatever milestone it may be, is there something that you want to talk to them about the process as to what goes through and how it happens and things like that? Would you want to identify and just talk them through that? You would meet them and then you would prep them about it, or they can simply just, you give them a date, you let the baby come there, you just figure out as to how old the baby is, and everything is ready, and you will ensure that the entire environment is conducive for them to come in and have a good photo shoot happen.
So again, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I started on how I did my photographs earlier and now. So there is a huge difference. I worked on it. That's what I want to say. So earlier I had an office in Bayside at Tardive, in a mall, Bayside Mall at
Yeah.
Tardive. And that was like a small, like a 200 square feet space where I used to just keep my computer, my editing table, and my props. It wasn't enough for a shooting area, and that was frustrating. As a creative artist, you need space. You need because I'm a photographer. Obviously, I need space and help me. So then that time I used to go at that point, I used to go to my client's house to do the shoot. So imagine if I'm going to a client's house, I would carry my 9 feet roll, I would carry the lights, I had like a helper or a driver. So it was a lot of trouble for me, not for my clients. But in all of
Yeah.
that, I would lose my sense of creativity and I would get stressed out. And it was honestly not worth it because the outcome was not as I wanted to because of the space constraints. The Mumbai houses are not very big, to be honest, and I've been to a
Yes.
lot of houses because of my work. So that's how I used to work back then in 2017-18, I would say. And 2019, I was lucky to find a beautiful space in Worli. I have my own studio now. I have a breastfeeding area for the new moms. I have a washroom. I have a shooting area, a changing area, and an editing table as well. So this place is where I have created most of my beautiful images, and I love my space. So when I get an inquiry, most of my inquiries are on Instagram. They they ask me about my packages, I just simply send them an email about all my packages as a PDF, a welcome guide mail. They get to know about my packages, and then we get on a call. So I explain to them in detail about what are the packages for, what they should do. I recommend, you need to suggest, because you're a new mom and dad, you don't know what you should do and what stage is important. And being a mother myself, I know that this stage is cute, like, oh, this you don't want to miss. So I give honest opinions about that, and then whatever fits in their mind and their budget, they go ahead with that. And then we just simply have them come to our studio. That's it. I send them a mood board before. This is what I'm going to do. And if you like anything from my page or from my website, please let me know. Or if you have anything in your mind, please let me know. We would love to incorporate. Or if you have any particular colors you love for your baby, or if you like smileys, if you like a bathtub setup, or if you like teddy bears, or if you like some particular flowers, we incorporate all of that in the shoot. So we ask the parents, we want to make it customized for them. We want to make them comfortable because we want to remember them that, oh, this is what I had in my mind and Ruchita converted it for me, or she did it for me. So this is what I have in my mind.
Awesome. I think the biggest takeaway is that all the initial part which you spoke of, that how a person reaches you, I think they can do that through Instagram and reach out to you and probably book an appointment and get to know more. But I think the magic starts when the mood board is sent across and they've decided that yes, they want to go ahead with it, because that's the obstacle, whether you want to do this or no. Once you've decided what has to be done, till the time the product is ready, it's as simple as handing it over, that it's with you. You make the magic happen till the time you see the photograph and you realize that okay, this is absolutely worth it. So we've seen that with a lot of people, the kind of comments that come on your page also, and it correlates to what we are doing at Kids OK Please. The idea is to have marvelous childhoods, and every child should have a fabulous memory. Every parent should be able to give them the best childhood that can be. And one of the most important things is capturing that moment, which is not going to come back. And that can only be done through photographs, as you've already mentioned. There are some people who are asking questions. We'll take the questions towards the end. And people, please keep throwing in the questions. I'm going to ask all of those to Ruchita. Ruchita, I also want to know that what if there are parents, there are babies who are not in the city of Bombay, and they want you to conduct that shoot for you? Is there a possibility for them to now we understand that because of COVID we are all restricted, but what about people who are living in other parts of the country, other parts of the world, who want to get a photo shoot done with you? Is that on the cards at all?
So my hands are currently full with my Mumbai clients, my Mumbai babies itself. But I am open to traveling. I have traveled earlier. I have gone and photographed an actor called a South Indian actor called Shilpa to Pondicherry. I had gone there for a day, so I flew there for a day. So she wanted to do a baby shoot. Her baby was 1 month old, and I went. I flew in the morning and came back next day. So it was a one night stay. And we do take up sessions all over
Awesome.
India. It is possible,
Awesome.
but right now the situation is such that we cannot travel. So
Yeah.
we are only taking up very limited, and we're being conscious of who's coming from where in our studio as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's very important, and as an artist, you can only make X number of paintings if you're a canvas painter. So similarly, I'm sure that there's limited time to do limited things. What's the expansion plan, and how do you intend to grow the brand Ruchita KJ in photography? Is it going to be more of you sharing thoughts, or creating other prodigies with you, extending offices elsewhere, or is it going to be for the next 3-4 years? You mentioned that, and you're blessed with a beautiful baby boy. What's that plan like?
A lot of things are possible. It requires time. I'm going to give my time to my baby right now. So I'm going to stick to only doing photo shoots in Mumbai. There's no expansion. I'm just going to do simple shoots, 8 to 10 shoots in a month. Do quality work is what I'm looking at. I want my Instagram page to look really, really, really marvelous. And in future, I do want to teach, but I think right now, at this point, I am learning myself, so I don't want to teach. But I do want to make a lot of online tutorials available, free tutorials available, and I want
Wow.
to boom my YouTube channel. That is
Yeah.
something I'm looking forward to. But currently, it's just making beautiful setups and focusing more on quality work. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I think would you also want to talk about so there is a professional life, of course, it's there, but there is something which makes the entire the brand really tick. There is always a support system which exists, and your biggest motivation, I'm sure, is your child right now to do anything and everything that you're doing. But what's the support system like? How do you manage your profession? How do you manage your personal life? I'm sure your followers, everyone wants to listen to that. So, who would you mention that is your biggest support system, and what's that like? And how does your child motivate you? What is it that you look forward to?
So I recently launched a, book in two of our famous clinics of a gynecologist. One is in Dr. Sonawala's clinic, and one is in Dr. Vinit Samdani's clinic. So in that, I've mentioned who are my inspiration and who are my support system actually. And apparently, I realized thinking deep into it that it's my parents, my clients. They are the ones who I consider as to be my biggest support system. Because if they weren't there, I wouldn't be there. Of course, to fulfill them in their demands, I have my husband. He is my biggest support system, and my parents, um, my child, of
Awesome.
course.
Yeah.
He will be around me soon. I know it. But for now, yeah, these are my biggest support system, and of course, my in-laws have been very, very, very supportive of what I'm doing. So, because of which I'm able to do what I want to do.
So, the reason why I asked that was, and I asked this to all my guests on the show, that there is a lot that goes behind parenting, and fortunately, and in every way, most of my guests have been parents themselves. They say that it takes a village to really, support, and when the child is growing up, so you need an entire village to manage that. And while you're doing that, you're also putting out great work out there. There are a lot of people who do photography, but this is a niche space. And it directly correlates to what we are doing in terms of Kids Okay Please. I know of people, who plan photo shoots way in advance, who want to do these kind of photo shoots for their memories and things like that. And I know that within the social circles, everyone talks about the kind of quality of work that comes out from your company. Um, the other thing which I wanted to understand, and our listeners wanted to know was, while you're talking about that there is no immediate expansion plan, and you probably will get into online tutorials if at all, to pass on the knowledge that you've got. What is the time that one needs to put in to constantly hone their skills in this space? Because one is, you can buy the most expensive camera, you can go to for many courses, and you can find your niche, but it's constant work that needs to happen with the thing. So all the academies that you've gone to, all the things that you've gone to, what's next step in terms of further enhancing your skill, and what was the kind of time that you had to put in to really get into this space? So if you could answer both the things, what was the time to get to here, in terms of any form of education, a year, 2 years, 3 years, couple of academies, and what is it that you intend to do in terms of further education within this space? Are you going to attend more conferences? Are you going to be a part of more things?
So that's a very interesting question. The first, and it's kind of tricky, I feel. So the kind of time you need to come to doing photography of this sort, it can be one day, it can be 1 month. I mean, you need to decide what level of work you want to do, and that's where you come to know whether you are doing it well or no. So I
Okay.
still feel I'm not doing good work, to be very honest. So
That's being modest.
no, I feel like every picture, like if you ask me which is your favorite one, I'll be like the one I'll create tomorrow, because I just don't like it. Maybe I worked on it too much, and I'm like, I think I can do that flow better, or I think the outfit
Yeah.
can be a little better. So I'm always criticizing my work. So I think it takes a lot of time. If you wanna master it in terms of not just photography, but you need to know the styling, you need to do hair and makeup, you need to do the propping, you need to understand colors. I'm constantly learning colors. Like I'm going on Pinterest, I'm making mood boards. I'm just learning what colors goes with what. So
Yeah.
it takes time to learn all of this, and you can't just do it in a day's time or in a month's time. It takes a lot of studies. It takes a lot of experience, is what I would say. And everyone has their own experiences. So this is a very subjective question, but I think it took me around 4 to 5 years to get comfortable in this space. To be
Wow.
Yeah, it took me time because I realized that this is something you need to do in a repeat mode to get
Yeah.
to perfect that one thing. To perfect this one lighting, I took a lot of time. Maybe I'm a slow learner, but I'm happy I got it finally.
Yeah.
So there's a pattern which I've formed, which I can follow it now without even, like, I can do a shoot right now. I don't need to prepare for it. So that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Um, and the second question, I'm sorry, what was the what was
So what's the next step of academic excellence that you would want to get to go to the next level of photography? Is there any other course that you'll be doing, or is there a higher is there something more that needs to be done from where you are today, and is that on the cards?
mm,
Or is it going to be constant work that you're going to learn while you work and you keep improving and you keep reading
No,
about?
so there are genres what I look to improve in. So I categorize my work in terms of baby, newborn,
Yeah.
starting with pregnancy, newborn, sitters, which are 8 to 10 months, and then you have your toddlers, like your 1 year old cake smashers. So I feel I'm pretty good at maternity. I feel I like doing that, and I'm good at that. Like draping the mums and doing maternity photo shoots is something I really enjoy. Newborns is something I enjoy as well, but cake smash is something I haven't done a lot of it. I wanna like collaborate with a lot more party decor event organizers, so that I can enhance my skills in that particular category. In
Yeah.
terms of education, educating myself, um, maybe I keep on learning. Like I'll read, like I have a list of videos that I have to be watched here. Like how do you smoothen your skin? How do you work on your Photoshop skills? Better your Photoshop skills, basically. How do you do a particular take a same image and do a fine art edit, and the same image? How can you do a very summer look to it? So there are these
Yeah.
approaches. These are the details that I'm telling you. If you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But this is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I aim to do. This is what there. It's always there on my things to do. Oh my God, I have to practice this today. Or how can
Yeah.
I edit my newborns better? So this is what,
Right.
as a newborn photographer, you should aim at. You should look to better your skills at.
Fantastic. So the reason why I posed that question was because there are a lot of people who come to our platform who are looking at alternate careers which are there, and when they look at it, I think although it's a very tough space to be in, we ask all our guests always that what if someone is looking at you as an inspiration to really start a career in this direction? So what's the kind of hard work that's going to go behind it? So I think the people who are going to tune in on the IGTV later
I
can
hope
probably
I've
pick this up a
answered.
bit before.
Yeah, I hope I've
Yeah,
answered.
yes, you have. I think it's a constant learning process, is what we gather, and we also understand that it's going to take. Some people can pick it up in a very short duration, and some people will take some time to find their niche and take it forward. Also, something that we wanted to know, our team was asking us that while these are commercial shoots that are taking place, what if I just throw a scenario at you that tomorrow a large world organization was to reach out to you to do a large campaign around children? How would you be receptive towards it? Would you want to be a part of a campaign of that sort, which is purely focusing on children and contribute that way? Would you be open to something like that?
Um, this is
I
going
know
into
that's out
my
of the blue.
no. Yeah, I mean, I was not prepared for this. I don't know, because this goes into event photography. So if it is,
not just event photography, just maybe a campaign which is awareness towards
I would do it. I
uh,
would do it. If it's children, I do children, any kind of children product photography. I do it. So
excellent.
if there are kids in it, I know I can handle it.
Right. So besides baby photography and the four genres that you spoke of and the different time scales, I would like to tell the people who've tuned in now and a little later that if y'all are brands or companies which are looking at participating or collaborating, this is the company that you should definitely reach out to and find what kind of creative synergies y'all can get, which would be wonderful. Ruchita, is there a particular shoot which was, tell us the most difficult shoot that you've had? You don't need to name the people, and the easiest shoot or the most fun shoot, and where is it? Is it in your studio or is it in the outdoors? And what's been the most challenging experience? Tell us a little bit about all of that.
I think the most fun shoot was with Jay Devansh in the outdoors. I think that was such a cute one. I really enjoyed that. I love my outdoor shoots. And the most difficult one would be, I think my first shoot, I was really sweating a lot. I was sweating a lot because I was holding a baby for the first time. I'm talking like five,
Wow.
6 years back.
Yeah.
And, and, uh, and you know, the parents are around you and they're looking at you like, what is she going to do with my baby? How is she holding my baby? Oh my
Yeah.
God, you know. So, and plus, you were doing it for the first time. So, that was really tough, you know. I can only sweat thinking about it. And
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think everyone cherishes and remembers in the best way and in the most different way what was their first experience, and nothing
but
different here. It's
in
your first
general,
shoot.
all my shoots in terms of if there are baby shoots, when the baby is like a newborn, when the baby is newborn, by newborn, how we define newborn is 0 to 15 months old, or
Yeah.
15 days old.
Okay.
When the baby is that old, um, the shoots are going to be not so much fun in terms of for the parents because the baby's sleeping, and it's going to be more about capturing the baby's expressions, the feet,
Yeah.
the hands, all of that. So there's no reaction as such. And it is
Yeah.
tough to handle the baby at that point, to swaddle the baby and all of that. So it's not as fun as my 6 to 8 months old. Like that is the best time. Like the way the baby's sitting, the baby's flapping the hands, the baby's trying to drool, the baby drools, it's chewing on
Yeah.
something. I absolutely enjoy those moments, which
Yeah.
parents might ignore it in their normal day-to-day life. So I try to capture those for them. I really enjoy those. And after that, when the baby turns 1 year old, I think it's a mess. They're just running around everywhere, and it's just tough. It's really tough to get them in one
Yeah.
place. So, and
Yeah.
for parents as well, they get so exhausted. So I do the parents' shots first because I know they're going to be so tired by the end of the shoot. So I just finish that, and then I do the toddlers. So that's a brief idea of behind the scenes of what my shoots are like.
Okay. So, what's the typical familiarity time that you give the child and the parent within your studio or when you go out? Do you plan it in such a way that your shoot is going to be about an hour and there'll be 1 hour of familiarity of the space which is there? Is that kind of time required for it? No?
For the child,
For the child and for the parent to be acquainted with the environment where the shoot is going to take place? Do you ask them to come in? How long is typically a shoot if a general shoot has to be discussed
two
about?
hours, two and a
2
half
hours.
hours.
Okay,
Unless the
that's not
parents
bad
have
actually.
forgotten something somewhere and they've like, oh, they're in a hurry, or they're tired, so they'll rest for half an
Yeah.
hour. But
Okay.
otherwise, shoot time would be 2 hours. Um, uh, I don't give. I don't think you need to give time to the baby for getting familiar with the space. I make situations for baby to be in. For
Okay.
example, I tell the baby. I literally talk to the baby. Now you're going to be in a bowl. I'm talking about a 6 to 10 month old baby. So now you're going to be in a bowl and you're going to be sitting out here. This is what you have to do. And you know
Yeah.
my setup and all of that is already looking beautiful.
Yeah.
So I give actions to the baby. So I'm giving a job to the baby. So and I know in which direction the baby will look when I call out to the baby, and that's what I want. So I create
Yeah.
situations, and that's how I get the baby familiar with the situation, and they are comfortable and cozy. I don't let them
Yeah.
be. I give directions to the parents. You have to stand here, you have to do this, and this is what is going to happen, and this is what we're going to get. So I brief them before the shoot. So if that's what
Right.
you're asking in terms of getting them familiar and comfortable in the
Yes.
space,
Yes.
so I'm always prepared with that. So I know
Yeah.
what is happening first, what is happening second, and if the baby is not feeling good, okay, let's switch. This baby doesn't like this. I know my babies, so yeah.
So you have a storyboard and a flow set, because if a situation was to go in a different way, you can the baby and the parent need not worry, because at that age, parent and baby are always, the parent is always a little anxious that what will happen, because I'm going for a photo shoot which is professional. One is taking on your camera, it's a different thing, but the other is this. So glad to hear that that is the kind of comfort that your company could provide to people. So I think it's been wonderful finding out so much more about what goes behind the scenes in terms of work and how people can reach you. Again, just to for all the people who've tuned in for the first time, your followers were there, and our interaction also during COVID, which has been as minimal as it could be, because everyone is in different space. Glad we could have this chat. Very
Yes.
quickly, to tell everyone who's tuned in that Kids OK Please is actually a mobile application which is going to be launched once things open up. We're ready with the application, but for now it's our website and our page where educators and facilitators are putting up things which people can engage in online. So everything from your art and craft to science, technology, to storytelling, to wellness, to health, and alternate skills which people can enroll for. There are a lot of them which are free. And the idea is to ensure that parents are able to pass on something very basic, very simply to the children. Where Kids OK Please, Kids stands for experiences within the city, where you can simply go utilize a leisure or social infrastructure. OK stands for we will OK all the places which are child friendly, and it's on your mobile application that if you're stepping out, you can go here or there because it's OK. And Please is where brands and companies can really please the target group by direct engagement, which is there. And all you got to do is just subscribe to Kids OK Please. And Kids OK Please Live and Coffee Childhood that we have is primarily to interact with people like yourself, who are part of the kids ecosystem, and which help make the childhood marvelous. So with that, I think I'll ask, in case if there are any queries, questions, if someone has, you all can reach Ruchita on her Instagram page. I know there are a lot of people who've tuned in. They've said hello. Someone had asked that where exactly is your office in Worli, to which I would say that you can go onto the page, drop in an inquiry, and you can reach out to the organization, and they'll revert to you. They're quite swift in that way. Ruchita, before we end the conversation, I know you've got very little that my team has told you about Kids OK Please, but your thoughts when you heard about Kids OK Please, what do you think it stood for, or what is it, and what are your thoughts around that?
I was curious to know what Kids OK Please is about. I think the perception of Kids OK Please is coming out to be very informative. This is a platform every parent would want to follow and know, like, I need to be a part of this because this space is doing something interesting. There's something always happening. There's some good information always being passed. And you've got some amazing speakers in the past as well. So I was really excited to be a part of this. So so that's what I think. I think this is going to be. I like the content you all are creating, and I really wish you have a lot more followers and parents follow your space, so that they get some first-hand information about things they should know.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's the mission. Obviously, it's to change the real estate and the mental and the physical design of the society. Just a couple of hours back, I was hosting Coffee and Childhood, and we were just talking about it, that how the older generation as well as our generation, who are parents now, we address children not as children. We address and start bucketing them, boy and girl. You're from that part of city. Oh, you go to this school. We are feeding these things into the child, and the child is like, a child. I mean, whatever you tell me, I'm going to start reacting to that, and how that can completely change and shape a child as they are growing up. That's the mental part of it, and the physical part of it is with COVID now. Anyways, the child-friendly places around us within the cities in India were so less, and now it's even going to be tougher because where do the parents go out? Where what is safe? What is child-friendly? What is secure? And how can we make that happen by collaborating with everyone who owns real estate and educators who are there who can conduct these kind of events. So he spoke to about 4 to 5 police stations close by, and we just did a general survey like, can we get parents to come there, for a guided tour? He said, please do. We want everyone to believe that this is a friendly neighborhood. They said, we'll take you around. We'll tell you how do you become a cop? Who is a cop? What's the hierarchy? What are the things we
Wow.
do? Something as simple as that, because no one wants to interact with a cop at all. But it's a part of our social infrastructure. And then it becomes a child friendly place in terms of you can go with your child there. When we say child friendly, it's not only where you can leave your child and be at rest forever, but the society or the real estate around us has to be great. Anyways, that's a larger mission, and I'm sure people like yourself and others who are listening to us or will join hands with us. We'll try and achieve this mission
Definitely, yes.
sooner or later.
Definitely, yes. Thank you.
Great. For all the people who tuned in, thank you so much. We were interacting with Ruchita of Ruchita KJ in photography. You can see her Instagram page, like it, share it. And definitely, if you can give yourself and your child a photo shoot from her, I can tell you it'll be absolutely worth it. Kudos. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Cheers.
for having me. Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.